minutes of fame. Let's go.
Oh, welcome back to the 14A Sports Radio Show. All right, and at the end of every show, as you all know, we do our fantasy finish with Kevin Epstein of fantasyfootballadvisor.net. What's going on, Kev?
Hey, what's going on, guys?
Kev, what up, dude? How's it hanging?
Getting good, getting excited.
Oh, yeah. It's that time of the year. So start making some noise on the table.
No.
Okay.
How many drafts have you done so far, Kev?
I hate to tell you, but I'm in about, right now I'm in about 9 leagues.
Oh, my God. No. I'm in 5. I thought that was entirely too many, and I think it is. But 9, that's crazy.
It's way too many.
Wow.
I have 2 leagues that I consider league of records. Those are ones where you got your buddies in them.
Right.
And so, that's the smack talking, that's the phone
bra-
calls during
bragging
the
rights.
week.
Yeah.
All of that stuff. And then the rest of them are just, against strangers, kind of online stuff that
Okay.
I like to do. It's more for practice.
Right.
But I do find during the season, it's really hard to pay attention to so many. I just get too excited.
And the other thing,
off-season.
that happens, you're rooting against yourself. One team you have this guy, and then another league you're playing against them, so it gets tough.
Wait, you throw FanDuel in the mix, and you really have no idea who you're rooting for.
Yeah.
With the weekly stuff, which is really where the money's made.
Right.
With that stuff, I mean, I've got the way I work that, I have lots and lots of guys, and so somebody, I just root for scoring. I don't even care who it is. I'm just watching as Brian. I'm like, he could be going against me in one league, but I know I got him in another one.
Right.
I'm rooting for scoring the
A
whole
lot of
time.
points.
And I just count it up at the end.
Right.
All right, so as you know, we had our inaugural 14A Sports Draft this last week. Very exciting situation going on.
We had a good time. It was
down at the Rock Pub and Grill.
well run, Walsh.
Oh, thank you. Now you actually saw the stuff that was going on with the draft and whatnot. Who do we want to start with? Out of the three of us, who do you think had the most impressive team?
Or how about you just overall? What was your first thought when you saw the draft?
Well, looking through everybody's stuff, and it's hard to, the format that it's in, it's a little tough to process it, but looking through everybody's stuff, it's clear that that's an inaugural league. Okay? There's definitely some questionable decisions being made by some of the teams.
Agreed.
You could tell it's usually pretty easy to draft the first 4 or 5 rounds. You almost can't make mistakes.
Right.
It's when you get to the 6, 7, 8. When you get to the later rounds, you start to see a little flailing and floundering going on, and you go, all right, these guys, some of these guys really just didn't know what to do at this point. And
they haven't been watching the Final Fantasy finish. Although, we say they haven't been watching the Final Fantasy finish. Our buddy Richie, who's on the show, he had no idea.
He wasn't watching either.
What? Was he not listening when we were talking? I mean, there was Andy Dalton in the 6th round.
Oh, bro,
really?
we gave him the business for that. We
yeah.
absolutely gave him the business.
Was that the big moment in the draft that everybody said, "What are you doing?"
Well, there was a couple. There was that one, and then George took 2 quarterbacks in the first 5 rounds, and then took 2 kickers at the end of it, and so that was a little questionable.
I was just looking at that. I'm trying to figure out why one guy has two top line quarterbacks. I mean, you guys need to do some trading here. Some of these teams are not set up very smart, but. Matt, I think looking through everybody, you're pretty good with your draft.
Not bad, huh, Kev? Thank God I've been listening to you, huh?
Yeah, I mean, your draft looks really. I mean, love Gronk in the 7th round.
Yeah, that
Great.
was a steal, right?
Tony Romo. I'm a fan of his in the 8th round. I like that you got him 22 rounds after Rich took Dalton in the 6th. Really? I like that backup quarterback, Al. I think one of you guys had Mike Vick is the backup quarterback, who I love. He's my number 1 sort of guy after the top 12 go.
Right.
Vereen, I'm a big Vereen fan, so getting back to that one's Matt.
Yeah, that was Matt. Yeah.
Matt's looked really good. Let me go back to Al's. Al, he started to go wrong a little bit in that
nice.
6th and 7th round. Ronnie Hillman has not had a good preseason with all those fumbles. He's not going to really play.
Right.
That was a reach, just a bad reach. Hillman is a guy that I've been dropping in leagues. He's not even worth. You're going to keep him on your roster for a bit, but he definitely was not worth that pick.
All right.
I like Sanders. I mean, as a PPR guy, a lot of these are good PPR guys. I'm a little concerned about Martellus Bennett
Yep.
as a starting tight end. I'd look to improve that.
I was not
Bennett-
happy about that at all.
No, Bennett's looking like a guy that's going to do a lot more blocking than he is catching of passes. We talk about the horrible offensive line
Right.
that the Bears have. I don't see Bennett being a guy that's going to be allowed to go out and catch a lot of passes. He's going to be staying in to block a lot.
Right.
So I don't like him as a tight end. Look for a Fred Davis type guy or Jordan Cameron or
I have Jordan Cameron.
Oh, you have him already?
Yeah, I
a
have
little
him.
trade action, guys. Let's
We
get it
swapping?
going.
Raleigh?
Once Gronk comes back, I'll trade you Jordan Cameron.
Oh, thanks.
Yeah, no problem.
There's a lot of guys who are going to emerge at tight end. There's some sleepers out there.
What do you?
guys
Speaking
who
of tight
come
end,
out.
what do you think of either Hausler or in one league? I'm really short on tight ends. Hausler or Kobe Fleener. You like either of them?
I do like Kobe Fleener as a sort of sleeper type tight end this year. Indianapolis looks really good. Andy Luck is looking great. He might be a top 5 guy. They're going to be throwing the ball a lot. So Kobe Fleener, Dwayne Allen is injured. He was injured last year. He's injured again right now. And I do have a couple of injury updates for you guys, too, just fantasy football related.
Yep.
But Dwayne Allen's injured again. I think Kobe Fleener is going to be the tight end to own from Indianapolis. And he's a breakout candidate. I mean, he's a talented, he's fast, pass-catching type guy. Aaron Hernandez without the killing. And
now,
so, he's got that speed. He's not a blocker.
Right.
He's one of those guys that's going to go out and catch passes.
And now in Indy, too, they have the Stanford offensive coordinator, Pep Hamilton, who obviously is familiar with Fleener.
Everything looks up on Indy offense. I really wish they had a running back that I felt good about. I would be all over that.
Right.
Too. I don't like their running backs, but outside of that, their offense looks really good. Andy Luck, I think, is going to have a great year. And Kobe Fleener, that's a guy. He might be on your waivers or your free agency right now.
Yeah.
Get online before your buddies on the thing.
Before they're listening in.
Somebody got him. Brian got him. The owner of the Rock got him.
Oh, someone picked him?
Yeah.
Oh, all right.
That's all right. I'll be working. You're right. I was not happy about that Chris Ivory, Ronnie Hillman back-to-back, but I'd rather take my backs there at some point. But it turns out, I get Pierre Thomas as a handcuff there. Not feeling it so much, but I'm going to have to do some wheeling and dealing. I like my quarterback, starting running back receiver, but tight end.
Yeah, I mean, I love Russell Wilson, by the way. I have him on, I told you those 9 teams. I must have Russell Wilson on 5 of them.
Yeah.
For some reason, I keep ending up with Russell Wilson.
Yeah.
And so, I got a good feeling about him. He's a good quarterback to have. He's going to score you points with his legs. And these kind of leagues, remember, rushing yards are worth a lot more than passing yards, and rushing touchdowns are worth a heck of a lot more than passing touchdowns. So,
right.
It doesn't take but one 30-yard run for a touchdown for Russell Wilson to equal, 300 yards passing for another quarterback.
Let me ask you this. So, in the 3rd round of the draft, I went with Reggie Wayne. And people question that. I kind of rationalize as a little more consistency than upside. I could have had like Dwayne Bowe. Maybe Mike Wallace, a couple of those guys. What do you think of that pick? I was a little unsure right there.
Yeah, I would have taken Dwayne Bowe with that pick.
Yeah.
But if he was around, here's the deal. Reggie Wayne is last season he was sort of this PPR kind of monster.
Right.
You guys are doing a PPR league, so he's a good guy to have on your team. But he's old, and he started to tail off at the end of last season a little bit.
Right.
And so I have a little bit of concerns there. He's still good. He's going to be a solid wide receiver on a PPR league for you. He's going to score touchdowns. He's got a great quarterback, so you really can't go wrong. But I feel like you could have maybe taken Bowe there and maybe even gotten a Reggie Wayne in the next round.
Yeah, maybe. Yeah, there was, Bowe. I grabbed Amendola the next round, which I liked a lot.
Oh, Amendola I like better than Wayne. I mean, so that was a great pick. Again, I saw your wide receivers. I'm going to look at it again.
Yeah, I have Reggie Wayne, Amendola, and Jordy.
Yeah, Jordy Nelson, sleeper guy. Everybody thinks he gets injured a lot. You know what? If he doesn't, he's going to be great.
Right.
He fell way too far. I mean, that was a great value pick.
Yeah.
So, I can sort of allow. That's why I said, I'm going to allow for the Reggie Wayne a little bit early pick because I love Amendola where you got him. A few picks later, and then I love Jordy Nelson. Love Gronk in the 7th, Nelson in the 6th, Romo in the 8th. These picks were really good.
If I win this league, it's going to be in the 6th, 7th, and 8th rounds with Jordy, Gronk, and Romo.
Well,
a lot
let's
of the
hope you
league sort of
don't.
went wrong in that area. I mean, somebody took Tavon Austin with the 60th pick.
I think that was
before
Spanky.
Jordy Nelson.
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah,
Come on,
crazy.
guys.
Yeah.
He's
What?
like legitimately mad at Spanky right now.
Yeah.
Spank
What are
even
you
said
doing?
he goes he's gonna spank me for my receivers.
Yeah.
You know, that one, I get Tavon Austin. Sounds like, he could be good, but we don't know. He's never played.
Right.
You can't. He's 5'8". He's my size. You know
Yeah.
what? If that guy can play football, I think I might be able. Well, he's a little
Yeah,
faster.
let's not get crazy there, Ken. Let's not get
Yeah,
nuts.
that's right. Well, let's not go
Let's
crazy. He's a little
let's
faster.
stick to breaking down to fantasy.
And
here.
rookie wide receivers in their first year typically don't make that big an impact.
Right.
I mean, we've got some exceptions there, but overall, for your 5th round pick, I don't think so.
You don't go with a rookie wide receiver. You have no idea what you're going to get. I like him, for a bench guy. I definitely have him on a couple of teams on my bench. As a guy I took closer to 90 or 100 in terms of the number. How far? Who's got Reggie Bush?
Same guy, Spanky.
Now, I do like the Reggie Bush pick, Spanky, so that's pretty good. I have a little, Reggie Bush has been running in the preseason as if Kim Kardashian's been chasing him with paternity
We
pay.
were just talking about. That's
Yeah,
funny.
I was listening this time a little bit.
Yeah. Oh yeah, duh.
I figured I'd bring something up from before.
There you
I
go.
don't know.
Show you listen. Nice. I like it. What did you think of the Ghostbuster? Did you hear the Ghostbuster talk?
No. I only saw the last few minutes. A little Kim
Yeah,
Kardashian.
you didn't miss
something
much.
about eating some sort of placentas.
Don't bring that up. This is the fantasy. We don't talk placenta.
Oh, that's just nasty, Kevin.
disgusting.
Guys, I had to turn down the volume. I was like, what is going on with these placentas? I don't even know what that's about.
Oh, I agree.
Hey, now,
Absolutely.
Kev, I want to ask you something because I got on Molly about this during the draft, but now he's got great 3 marquee names from New England. He's got Amendola, Vereen, and Gronkowski. Yeah, New England's going to put up a bunch of those points. Do you see that as being a problem, having 3 guys on the same team?
No, I don't have a problem if 3 guys are from the Patriots
Right.
on the same team. It's not like the Patriots, are playing very many difficult teams in their schedule.
Right.
Who they get to play the Jets twice,
Buffalo,
Miami.
yeah.
They have a pretty soft schedule, and they got Tom Brady. I'm okay with that. Now, you're not going to be as consistent in terms of
Week to
spreading the
week.
wealth.
Yeah.
It's not diversified very well. But they score so much. I'm totally fine with it, especially Gronk. Vereen, I love Vereen. I have teams with Ridley and Vereen on them.
Really?
I have no problem with that at all. I'll play them both.
In a PPR, you got because they're 2 different. They're both running backs, but they really 2 different positions. Vereen's kind of almost like a slot guy in essence.
Vereen is he is due on a PPR league for 70 receptions. Everything else is a bonus, but I mean those 70 receptions alone, that's huge.
Yeah.
70 receptions is going to give you 6, 7, 800 yards. That's a lot of points. 5, 6 touchdowns. That's the downside for him. I mean, he's got all the upside in the world.
How about Kev? Because I like talking about myself. So, how about my first 2 picks? Ray Rice slips to 10, and then I come back and I got to write Alf on the board. I come back with Alfred Morris. Little inexperienced there. Me getting those 2 guys. What do you think?
I love those 2 guys. I love those 2 picks.
Me too.
Ray Rice is the 10th pick is exactly, it's great value for him. The 15th pick is even better value for Freddie Morris. So those 2 picks were great. I mean, for all intents and purposes, I probably would have done the exact same thing.
Yeah.
If I'm sitting at 10 and Ray Rice is there. Now, Goal Line Kings, which is
Rich.
Rich, right?
Right.
Andy Dalton's team. He got Calvin Johnson at number 11.
Yeah.
I don't know. Actually, looking back, I might have taken. I don't know if I could have passed on Calvin Johnson.
Yeah.
Even
Yeah.
for Ray
I thought
Rice.
about it. Yeah.
That's a tough one. You don't expect Calvin Johnson to be there at 10 or 11. Kind of threw me for a loop to see that one. So that was an amazing pick. And I personally I would have went with Calvin there.
Yeah.
And try to deal with the running backs in the next 2 rounds. But I can't complain about Ray Rice. He's awesome, and he's Rutgers. He's Jersey.
Yeah,
what up?
That's it.
You got that I-95 backfield going on there at Washington.
I went to Rutgers. I saw Ray Rice in a bagel shop. He was very nice.
My wife, I think, was
You're
at
claiming
Rutgers.
fame.
Yeah, that's fine.
It's so great.
Actually, one of my friends, she was kind of like dark skinned. Apparently, he only went after black girls. I don't even think she was black, but she was dark skinned. And she was like outside of a party, and he's like, "Yo, baby, why don't you come home and make some dark babies?"
Ray Rice said that?
Yeah, that was Ray Rice's line.
That's
Yeah.
funny. When our show isn't airing, I come outside the station and do the same thing. It doesn't work
You know,
that
right
well.
now, that girl, by the way, that girl's regretting saying no if she did say no.
I know, right? I told him the same thing.
Yeah.
She'd be telling that story to her kids and her grandkids.
Yeah,
Remember
exactly,
Ray
yeah.
Rice took me home and we were going to make dark babies.
Make a little light chocolate.
Yeah, she'd be getting nice baby daddy checks right now.
All right.
Yeah.
All right. So, Kev, in closing, who do you think had the best team, not only from us at the table, but in the league and all?
It's, again, a little bit tough to tell because the teams weren't set up in such a way where the players were placed in their position, so it's kind of hard to look at it the way that you've got it. But, I mean, running through the whole thing, I did think Matt seemed like the guy who was the most experienced drafter in the league, and so I think...
Well, that happens when you got Rich and Spanky picking.
Yeah, that didn't hurt me. Yeah, that didn't
I think
hurt me.
you want Rich and Spanky picking directly ahead of you in every draft, and that'll help.
Kev, you know how you have those drafts and like you have that one guy and you go, please don't pick him, please don't pick him. Not one time did they pick the guy.
Yeah, that's right.
Hey,
which never happens.
we at the draft we voted Keith M's OK team. He's got a stud. He's got C.J. Spiller, Brandon Marshall, Randall Cobb, David Wilson, Vernon Davis, Andrew Luck as his first 6.
I like those guys. I mean, I don't love. I have a problem with Wilson as my starting running back. So I mean, I saw that team. Wilson and Andre Brown. So he's doing the old Andre Brown in the flex position with Wilson as the running back. So I can't put a stamp of approval on that.
Okay.
If he would have gotten somebody else to that second running back, like a Lamar Miller, which he should have taken at that spot instead of David Wilson, in my opinion, that would have been a little bit better. Then you would have spread out the love a little bit. But I don't know. I can't really sanction Wilson and Brown as your two starting players on your team at the same time. It's just it's not great. It's good. Who's his quarterback?
Luck.
Wait, is there Andrew? Oh, we got Andrew. Oh, Luck is good. T.Y. Hilton I like. And Seattle defense.
Yeah.
Even though the 9th round might have been around too early, you love to have Seattle as your defense.
Yeah. Definitely.
A couple good drafts though. But for the most part, you could see there was a few guys here. Listen, I did my league of record drafting this last couple days, and there was a lot of what kind of moments. Somebody drafted Aaron Hernandez in the last round. I think that was more for
just a couple laughs. Yeah.
Just for laughs, but we had a guy, pick. What was the crazy one? We had somebody take Le'Veon Bell in the 4th round.
Really?
Knowing that he's injured.
Yeah,
you start weird.
Yeah, you start cheering when they do things like that.
Yeah.
Great pick.
Yeah, that's why we were all like, yeah.
I had someone take Dennis Pitta in like the 9th round.
Yeah, good one.
Yeah, he had the sticker.
Yeah, even Harvin went in one of my leagues. I'm going, guys, this guy's been injured for a while.
He went in our league too. Yeah. 13th round.
Percy?
Yeah. I'm just looking at it now. Yeah.
He is not coming back this year.
No, I don't think so either.
Yeah, he's not going to play. He's not worth a spot on your bench. He's not worth any. He's a good guy, but I'm sure, but not for fantasy this year. Couple of updates on injuries that is important to know anyway.
Okay.
So Le'Veon Bell foot is out of the boot.
Okay.
And is recovering a little bit faster, so it's looking really good for him to come back 3 or 4 weeks.
All right.
A lot of leagues have this guy sitting on waivers, especially early drafting leagues. I know I was able to pick him up in 3 of those 7 leagues off of waivers when the owners got frustrated with the hurt foot and just dropped him.
Right.
I'm feeling really good about that pickup right now because I think he's going to be playing in 3 or 4 weeks. On the same note, Pittsburgh announced that it will be Isaac Redman as the starting running back, not Jonathan Dwyer.
Okay.
So originally a lot of people thought Dwyer, they're going to run with Isaac Redman for the first 4 or 5 weeks. There's a couple guys, like I said, I don't know if anybody drafted Isaac Redman in your league, but there's definitely a few guys who could use a starter in the flex spot for that first 4 or 5 weeks. Grab Isaac Redman right away. He's a starting running back for the next few weeks.
Nice.
Who's the other thing? Dujuan Harris, who was the primary handcuffing to Eddie Lacy,
Yeah, he's out.
is gone for the season.
Right.
So I've heard a couple different things. Some people have told me Alex Green going to be the primary handcuff. Other people saying Jonathan Franklin. You know, one of those two guys is going to be the handcuff to an injury-prone Eddie Lacy
Right.
on a Green Bay high-scoring team. I'd want at least one of them on my bench, especially if I drafted Eddie Lacy.
Okay. Interesting.
All right. That's all the updates we got?
What's that?
Is that all the updates that we got?
Yeah, that's my. Those are new items for this week anyway.
All right. Sounds good. All right, Kev, as always, we thank you for coming on with us. They told us we got to cut these segments a little short. I wasn't happy about it. I could talk this stuff all day, but...
Especially when you told me that I had the best draft. I mean, we could talk about that all day.
What? What? Kev, we're
I was hoping
losing
I
you.
could come
We're
in and
losing
just
you.
rip on everything, but you know, it looked pretty good to me. So yeah, I think you got a good shot to win that league.
All right. All right, Kev, we will speak with you next Wednesday, right before we head into the season. Actually, the day before we
the day
start
before
the
the
season.
opening game.
Hopefully the day before Ronnie Hillman goes for 200, but it doesn't seem like it.
Probably not.
Hey,
the-
you know, you never know. Maybe they're going to name him a star. Maybe they'll change it over there. They're doing shenanigans.
Yeah, I like it.
Actually, real quick, No Shot Marino has been a huge pickup on the fantasy wires because it looks like he might be the third down back or might get the start, actually.
It's really mysterious over there right now. I
Yeah.
think it's going to end up being Monty Ball as the guy to own, but I have no idea. You keep fumbling. Hillman, I had Hillman on a lot of my benches. He keeps fumbling. He's fumbling away his shot. They're not going to give him the ball if he
Yeah,
fumbles
absolutely.
all the time. Now, don't drop Hillman just yet. At this point,
I won't.
give him another week or two. Let's see what happens when the season starts and when the games are being played. Because maybe they'll change their mind again. They've changed their mind a lot in Denver. And, you know, Peyton doesn't deal with anybody who doesn't block. So Monty Ball misses one blitz pickup, and the whole thing can shift.
Yeah, absolutely.
All right.
All right, buddy. Appreciate it. Always a
All right,
pleasure.
boys.
All right. Take it easy.
Take care, guys.
All right, later.
Well, I sure as hell didn't like his analysis of you having the best game.
I'll tell you what, we really didn't get into it. I actually thought Nipsey has a real strong team. I
Yeah.
like Nipsey's team a lot.
Well,
I
you're
thought
just
he did a
saying that
nice
because
job.
he's on the chat room and
No.
he's listening?
No, if I thought his team sucked, I'd be the number first, second, and third to
Nah,
tell you.
he did have a
No,
good
I thought
team.
he had a good draft.
Obviously, I wish we could have broke down George's a little more. You
Yeah.
know, talked about the two
Well, we talked about it a little bit.
quarterbacks.
He goes,
Good
I'm
Lord.
trying to figure out why the hell he has two kickers. I don't know.
I might
Actually,
make a trade
I'm looking at
with
Nipsey's team. He doesn't have really a second. He has Bradshaw, Richardson, Ben Jarvis, Fred Jackson. He needs one of those guys to pop. John Dwyer. If he gets one of those guys to pop, then he has a really, really good team.
Yeah, I might have to make a trade with him for Sudfeld, something like that, because I need myself a tight end. I'm not.
does.
I'm not liking that.
I'll trade you Jordan Cameron. Make me an offer.
All right, we'll talk. We shall speak. All right, so for Coles HD, producing the best show in cyberspace, and my sidekick Mully, and Rich, who is not here as well, we are signing off on a quick note this time. We will be back next week. We'll have the 14A Sports Girls in studio.
Nice.
We'll have the Fantasy Finish once again. And
Who knows what
you
else?
never know who's
Who
going to
knows?
pop up around here. All right, we're 14A Sports on 15 Minutes Fame Radio. We'll see you next Wednesday.
Peace.
Ow.
15 minutes of fame. Let's go.